Okay. Ooh. Oh, you're right. I would have forgotten. Okay, can I get a motion to close the executive session meeting?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, welcome to the Town of Orangetown Regular Town Board meeting of November 12th, 2024. Our favorite town clerk will take a roll call.
Councilman Paul Valentine, absent. Councilman Jerry Vittori.
Here.
Councilman Brian Donahue.
Here.
Councilman Dan Sullivan.
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Here, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Donnie, you want to lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I like some new faces. I always like new faces here. Okay, a couple things. First, I want to start by congratulating Dan Sullivan on his overwhelming victory last week, so congratulations. He gets to do it all over again next year, so there you go. You did such a good job. I do want to point out on just a point when we try to remind everybody on the Do Not Knock registry. You may have seen some things on social media about realtors knocking on doors. You need to sign up at the at the town clerk's office for the Do Not Knock registry. Having this sticker alone is not enough. You need to sign up and get the sticker. We've now coordinated with the police department, and they have the list of who's on it. The vendor gets the list, so you need to be on that list. The most recent occurrence, he was fined. He did get a summons for violating it, but sometimes people don't know if they're on it. They have the sticker. That's not good enough. You have to actually sign up. So our town clerk is always happy to help with that if anybody needs. We have a couple announcements. We have the Thanksgiving dinner bag giveaway for our Orangetown veterans and military families. That's going to be on Saturday, November 23rd from 9 to 11. Just we ask that you call the supervisor's office to reserve your dinner bag. And then Parks and Rec wants us all to know that they're having their 33rd annual Santa Claus 5K run on Sunday, December 8th. It runs around Veterans Memorial Park, so it's always a good time for anybody who wants to come. And on that, we will just go into workshopping our agenda items. We're going to resume the public hearing on the preliminary budget. That was continued from October 22nd and November 12th. And then we're going to close it, hear what everybody has to say, and then we have a couple of amendments to the preliminary budget. And then hopefully we're going to approve it, because we need to get our budget passed. Number 7 is accepting a grant. So we got $135,000 in grant money related to our environmental efforts here in the town of Orangetown. I'm going to point out Allison Carden sitting over there because she does all the hard work on this. So this basically is allowing us to buy some electric vehicles and electric landscaping equipment with this money. So basically this is, we're acknowledging it, and we agreed to basically, if it goes over, to not to exceed $5,000, we'll cover the cost. So that's what that is. Thank you, Allison, for your hard work. Number 8, approve the proposal for Fellinger Engineering. This we had discussed with I guess Jane and Eamon and some of the people. It's basically hiring our own engineer services to basically go over the HVAC system in the building, because we had some issues early on, and we just, before we go ahead and finalize everything, we wanted to have our own, an independent review of our HVAC system in Town Hall. That's that. Hopefully it's all good. Number 9, approve a proposal with Vanis Construction for the waterproofing flooring system. This is somewhat related to that. We had a situation with a leak, and so because we have some very expensive equipment in one of the rooms, we decided it would be cost effective to do some waterproofing and protect all our very expensive equipment. So this is approval of that. Number 10, accept settlement of the opiate litigation. We're getting a big $45.92. Is that what we're getting, Rob? $4,500? Yeah, it's not better than nothing. I'll take it. Is that the end of it, though? Is it done then?
That's one part of it, one small part of,
Okay,
yes, it continues. That litigation continues, separate than the one that we got the settlement on.
okay. Number 11, approving a street naming of a private road. So after much ado, we've landed on Captain Esposito Lane. This is in Pearl River. It's in the over 55 community that we're building up by Gatto Lane. So we're basically going to be naming it Captain Esposito Lane, and I understand his parents are here. Thank you for your son's service. This is a small thing we can do to honor his. Do you guys want to say anything? No? No, okay. Number 12, accept the donation of a memorial bench. It's Jerry and Patricia Connolly. Come sit with us a while by the rail trail by the Lovett Library. And number 13, accept another memorial bench in loving memory of Tim O'Donoghue, who many people knew. If love could have saved you, you would have lived forever. Number 14 is the Traffic Advisory Board is approving installation of some stop signs. You see the whole list there, and there's 15 of them, in different locations in Orangeburg and Blauvelt. So we do a 6-month police regulation. It's basically a trial. We see how it goes, and then after that, the town board decides whether they're going to make it a permanent regulation. So that's what 14 is. You can see all the streets. Number 15, accept with regret the retirement of John Wintersteiger after 22 years in the sewer department. And we have a couple of people moving up. Number 16 is recognizing the appointment of Ryan McCardle to the Assistant Plan Operator, effective November 18th in the sewer department. Number 17, recognize Brian Edwards to the position of Labor Probationary in the sewer department. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to say Department of Engineering, Management and Engineering, but it's easy to say sewer department. Number 18, recognize appointment of Hunter Havorka to the position of Labor effective November 18th, 2024, again in the sewer department. And recognize the appointment of Daniel Kelly to the position of Labor Probationary, again effective November 18th. And they are all, the last 1, 2, 3, are all town employees that are moving from different departments over to the sewer department. And then we have one new hire, Attikin, oh boy, Unyuruntin. I totally messed that up. Anyway, to a position of labor in the sewer department. So that's all. Is Eamon here? Oh, there he is. So Eamon, the head of the director of the department, has hiring authority, so he's made these decisions. The town board is just recognizing his appointments. And then we have the audit. So we have a fairly quiet meeting tonight. Okay, so for anybody new, when you come up, we just ask that you state your name and kind of hamlet or village or where you're from. And then we do have a 3-minute rule. You'll see this clock there and all over the place. So we just ask that you try to stick to the 3 minutes. Okay, so can I get a motion to open the public comment?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So nobody signed up, but is anybody here that would like to speak?
Evening, everyone. My name is Brian Robertson. I'm from South Nyack. I live right behind the yeshiva, which is on the property of. No, Coach, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely on, right, guys? Okay.
Yeah. I live right behind the yeshiva, which used to be Nyack College. Last weekend of November 1st, there was a massive event there. And I'm trying to find out if it was permitted or not. I've called pretty much every town agency I know to call. They've told me to pull FOIL requests for everything, and I've done that. They're just not completed yet. Like I said, this was a massive event. I'm sorry. Okay. There we go. This was quite a massive event. They bussed a lot of people in from other places. There was a lot of traffic, a lot of trash, a lot of noise. Some of my neighbors said they couldn't even stay in their houses on Sunday during the festivities. There's also a street closure by the highway department. OPD was there. I'm just trying to find out if this was permitted via a resolution. from the town council or how this happened and what we can do to prevent it from happening in the future.
Okay, we
Without-
don't, we don't answer back and forth, so if you want to, when you finish, we'll let everyone speak, and then we will answer as best we can.
Yep, that's all I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else that would like to speak? Okay. Yeah? Oh, I think,
Can you hear me okay? Okay. I am Norman Schaefer. I live at 101 Rockland Road in Sparkill, 10976. I have lived at 101 Rockland Road for over 45 years. I'm 93 years old. I'm a Korean War veteran and have permanent disabilities. I'm a member of the American Legion Sparkle Group, and I have some supporters. Thank you. I want the Orangetown Board to be aware that I had some brain surgery and that my attorney didn't make the judge overseeing the case aware of my illness and I am being evicted without reason. At the last Orangetown Board meeting, Teresa Kenny made a statement that I had the work done at 101 Rockland Road, Sparkill, that I would not cooperate on correcting illegal conversion to multifamily. Your Honor, who gave you that information? That's a question.
and as I explained to the last gentleman, we do not go back and forth. You can finish, and then we'll address what we can.
The landlady divided the single-family home into multifamily and had contractors do work to turn it into 2 apartments. I learned that later was illegal. I tried to get the landlord to correct this before filing a complaint with Orangetown. Instead, she took part of the house from me and increased my rent from $2,500 for half the house to $4,000 and had me pay for all the utilities, including the illegal apartments. She knew my income and personal situation and that I lost my partner, Helen, and she raised my rent to 100% of my income. I live alone. I could not afford the rent. To my knowledge, she targeted me for eviction, not the other tenants. She then organized a hearing I attended and was confirmed that I would be evicted with no place to live. The inspector from Orangetown came and photographed 2 kitchens.
That's the timer, so if you would mind, I'll let you finish out, but you have to finish up.
I contacted the building department, but they did not report the violation. Instead, she was allowed to continue to operate illegal housing scheme and collect rent. I believe that was Orangetown selective enforcement. I had made repeated attempts to inquire as to what happened to the complaint.
Okay, Mr. Schaefer, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off. We have to keep to 3 minutes.
Aware of this, there were no
Mr.
permits
Schaefer,
were
we have a
filed
3-minute
for the
time.
work.
I'm sorry. If I make an exception for you, then I have to hear it from other people.
The landlord hired contractors to do the work, not me. And I always cooperated with the town. Landlord corrected illegal.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who hasn't spoken that would like to?
So you can have a seat. Good evening. Is this on?
It's on.
Yeah, my name is Kevin McGill. I am the program manager for WestCOP, Westchester Community Opportunity Program, supportive services for veterans and their families. Happy belated Veterans Day to all the vets and their families. I'm here. He was referred to our program through the VA. And we're in Westchester, Putnam, Rockland, Dutchess, Sullivan, Ulster, and Orange counties. We help homeless vets or vets pending imminent risk of losing their homes by paying their rent, rental arrears, security deposits, broker's fees, and things like that. When he came to us, he said that, he had been living, like he explained, in the house for 45 years. And I'm here just to find out, depending on what happens, to let him know and to let you guys know that we are an option to either help him pay moving forward or help him find suitable housing somewhere. But to find suitable housing after being there 45 years, he's accumulated a lot of stuff, and we're going to have to help him, even though we would with moving, storage, packing his stuff up. So, I just wanted to let, you guys know that he does have, some assistance with us, with Homes for Heroes, the VA, and also it's a few other advocates, working with him. But, I just wanted to, let people know that we're here working with him. And if anybody knows any veterans that need some help, we're in Westchester, Putnam, Rockland, Dutchess, Sullivan, Ulster, and Orange counties. I've been practicing that, and I do have some business cards.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for doing that, too. Okay, there was two other people. I saw hands.
Good evening. My name is Maureen Pellegrini. I live at 99 Rockland Road, Spark Hill, New York. I am the landlord of 101 Rockland Road. I was notified that Mr. Schaefer, an associate, came here and talked to the board, so I figure I should answer any questions on this situation. We have been in litigation since 2023. Mr. Schaefer lost his home in 2018 through a foreclosure. I did not buy the house from him. I bought it from the people that purchased it in the foreclosure. Instead of evicting Mr. Schaefer, I gave him a lease for 1 year to find suitable housing. In that time, he did not, and I offered him another lease with an increase, since the rent that has been appraised on the house should be $5,800 a month. I was charging him $25. I told him I had to increase it because the tax bills are, and my insurance, the place needs enormous amount of work. And I asked him in January, his lease was up in April, I told him that I needed to raise the rent in order to cover the costs of my expenses. He immediately went to his attorney and filed a letter, a strong letter, which left me no course but to move forward with eviction. Mr. Schaefer and I have been in court. He's had 4 attorneys. I've had 1. We've had 5 judges, 3 of which have recused themselves because Mr. Schaefer has been in front of Orangetown and others. He has, one of his judgments is over $1 million. He has, if you want to look on the records in Rockland County, you'll see massive amounts of judgments that Mr. Schaefer has been involved in. It has nothing to do with me. I received from, in order to insure the house, I went to Andover Insurance, and they gave me a 12-page list of what I had to do in order to make the house insurable. So I went forward and did some of the work without a building permit. I'm in the process, I've contacted the building department, in the process of making everything proper. I did not get a building permit, but the house had so much problems. It was leaking into the house. It created a mold and all of these other things, which I spent a lot of time and money doing. So I think this is not here that we should be hearing this. I think we're in the civil court dealing with this. So if there's any questions, I'm here. I have photographs and everything of
Thank
the
you.
situation. Thank you.
Rodney, did you want to speak?
Okay. Good evening. How are you? I've been before this body once or twice in the past as a board president for the Orangeburg Library, and unfortunately, I'm compelled to appear before you tonight. The purpose of my letter is to explain to you what's happening with our board and with taxpayer dollars. As some of you know, my name. What's going on with this? As some of you might know, my name is Rodney Pykett. I live in Spark Hill. I've been a resident in Orangetown for over 27 years. During my professional life, I have volunteered for such organizations as Big Brothers Big Sisters of Rockland, Rockland Police Athletic League, Haitian American Parents Association. So it's not unusual for me to join up or volunteer. I now currently sit on the Orangeburg Library Board of Trustees. In 2016, I was asked to run for a position on the board by the circulation supervisor, and since that time, I won, and I've been serving since 2017. 2 of those 7 years, I've been president, and I've been before this body. As part of my commitment in sitting on the library board, I've received hours of in-person training, specifically Trustee Training 101 and Trustee Training 102. We're required to take 2 trainings per year, with one of those trainings, the third training being sexual harassment. I'm pretty well versed in our bylaws and parliamentary procedure. One of the most important lessons that I took away from the trustee education is the responsible stewardship of tax dollars. My duties include, but are not limited to, the appointment of a competent staff and competent library director. As a sitting board member, I have no idea about how staff salaries are made, how staff receive raises, and on what basis they receive those raises. Most of information on our staff is kept in secret. Our director thinks it's important to keep it close to the vest. Not just me, but the rest of the board. At the current time, I, as a board member, don't know the number of staff that we have there at Orangeburg Library. I should know, but I don't. It's kept a secret. At present, we have only 3 full-time employees there. Only one holds a master's in library and information sciences, which is required to hold a position of director and assistant director. You might ask how they hold those positions. There's a small carve-out in education law for small library populations such as ours at the Orangeburg Library. However, best practices dictate that we hire someone with a master's of library and information sciences. Only one person full-time holds the academic credentials to take that position.
That is obnoxious, that noise. It really is. We have to work on that. It's very loud. Yeah.
I'll just
So-
close and say, okay.
Okay, you want to finish up?
I'll just close in saying,
Yeah.
as the only member who's gotten extensive training in trustee training, I'm the only member who questions the actions of our board, and as such, I'm pegged as being abusive and hostile. Now I'm being targeted for removal on our coming meeting on the 18th of November, and even doing the removal, they're violating our bylaws and the state education law.
Okay.
So I wanted to bring it to the board's attention.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anybody else who wants to speak?
Hi, the name is Dorothy Rooney. I live in Pearl River, Forest Avenue. I just wanted to say I call the buildings department. We do have somebody next door at 30 Forest Avenue that's renting an illegal apartment in their basement. It's a one-family house, definitely, and the building department said there is a violation against them already. So I don't know how long it takes before anything is actually done about it. And there are 2 meters on the house when it's one family. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak that has not had a chance to speak? Of course.
Andrew Wiley, Orangetown property owner. So I'm here again to follow up with the conversation I had to the board the other week. I'm just curious if any of you have taken the time to do your own research on whether or not the building department is following the proper process and procedure, and if 101 Rockland Road was ever issued a violation, and if not, why? To me, there is a targeted thing, and any of his financial issues are not relevant to what the landlord did. The landlord converted a single-family home with her own, without building department approvals. She's a licensed real estate broker. She knows better. She comes in and she makes it like, oh, well, I was just trying to help him out. She had him sign 2 different forms without an attorney, did not disclose that she was the owner, or did not disclose she was a broker, or who she was representing, and she has him sign these forms. And in the clause, there's a clause on the second form that specifically says, if you change the corporation, you can increase the rent by 200% in the fine print. Now, clearly, she's made comments in the past about his mental faculties. That's my understanding. So she knew what the situation was, and she continued to take advantage of him, and she's relied on the town to aid and assist in targeting Mr. Schaefer for eviction, when in fact, she did these things. And at the past town board meeting, it was said that Mr. Schaefer did it. Now, I'll give her credit. She did put on boards on the one deck on the second story. She did come and take care of that. But she also deprived this man for well over a year from using the deck that was part of it, where there was a railing. And the work that she talked about, the preparation, was a roof that was finished, right? And then the posts were put in, but intentionally left the rails off so he couldn't use it. Does that sound like a nice thing to do? So everything that's going on here, it's all coming about. Now, is the town going to follow the law and issue the proper violation? Like that lady just said that apparently there was some issue with property in Pearl River and a violation was issued. This has been months. And the last time I checked, there was no violation issued. Why is this person getting special treatment when other people are being issued violations? I cleaned up my property. I just cleaned the underbrush. And a day later, I was issued a violation. A day later. Now, there was nothing there. I went and spoke to the building department. I dealt with it. But that's the type of selective enforcement that we're dealing with. If you are politically connected, you get special treatment. If you're not, you get special treatment. So I would hope that the board would individually check, do their own research, and not rely on a bunch of BS. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak that has not had a chance?
My name's Patty Pojwhite. I started a little Facebook page, this New York State District 97. So at that time, John McGowan, and he still is our assemblyman until January, but Aaron Weeder was elected to represent us down here. And yesterday, a thank you was put out by Mr. Weeder stating that he was looking forward to going up to Albany to protect the yeshivas from having to teach certain things and to work for his Kali, K-A-L-I, which I had to look up, is a Yiddish word for Jewish community. I feel that we don't have representation up in Albany, and I know on my page I told everybody we have to get our heads out of the sand, we have to start paying attention to what's going on, And I invited people to start coming to town meetings, school board meetings. But after the thank you yesterday from Mr. Aaron Weeder, he is not representing Orangetown up in Albany. And so we need to be protected by you people here. And we're going to watch and see that he doesn't get away with anything and we don't lose out and his singular community up there gains because he is where he is. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak that has not had a chance to speak? Okay, seeing no hands, can I get a motion to close? One of you, please.
Motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so to real quick answer some of the questions. To the gentleman, yes, they did, the yeshiva did apply for permits. They applied with the building department for the tent, they applied with the highway department for the road, and I know they were very involved with our police department. And so, yes, the short answer is they did apply for all the permits they needed. You know, I understand it's a inconvenience, but, you know, we have the Italian feast down here, we have the St. Patrick's Day Parade, we have, you know, that we close down roads and things like that. No, we're not. No, we just can't go back and forth. So, I mean, the short answer is yes, they did. They applied for all their permits. As to Mr. Schaefer and the situation with the landlord, it's in court. This board has no jurisdiction, no control. So I mean, it's a private landlord-tenant matter. I trust my code enforcement officer and the building department to do the right thing when it comes to the other issues. I've spoken, they're aware, so we're not going to, I'm not personally going to intervene with the enforcement. Let's see what else we got here. Orangeburg Library. Rodney, I have no idea, we've never had this before. Rob, can they be foiled? Like he said, he can't find out how many people. They get taxpayer dollars, right? So they're foilable,
No,
right?
they'd be subject to FOIL if it were.
Subject to FOIL, okay. And I can't. We can't make exceptions, because then I get in trouble. Yeah, I mean, I don't know we'll have to, I mean, follow up. I don't know. I mean, they have their own board of directors and things, their own process. I don't know where our role.
Right,
like we do the
the
taxes.
town really does do funding, as does the school district, so, you know,
Yeah.
this board does not oversee that board, so to speak, so.
No,
It's
but I would say
independently
that if there
elected
was some kind of wrongdoing, we might, you know, this time we
absolutely.
might be looking a little closer. I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing of it, so that's why.
Right, I mean, if there's, you know, I'm not sure exactly what the alleged wrongdoing was, but if there was anything with respect to, I think, funds or et cetera, that, you know, could be a matter for the police or district attorney's office, but.
Right. Ronnie, just send an email to me or to the town attorney and just kind of explain what it, because this is the first I heard of it, so yep. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to add? It's very loud. Okay. If not, we can move on to open the public hearing on the preliminary budget. So can I get a motion to resume the public hearing on the preliminary budget?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so nobody signed up. So is there anyone here who would like to speak on the preliminary budget? Oh, good fucking God.
So I'm looking here on the agenda, I guess, is this part of it, the supervisor changes? Why is there such a large change from workman's comp? Can that be explained, or someone explain it, from 951,000 to 400,000? And if it's so, is that for all the departments or just the supervisor's department?
Definitely not the supervisor's department.
Well, no, I realize that, but I'm saying what rolls under you, that directly to town. But, hey, listen, with things going today, you never know. So, yeah, I guess what's the total budget? What's the total projected increase? Has there been, I brought this to the board's attention in the past, and the board hasn't done anything, and I'm hoping maybe you guys can do this. The county has a formula for police aid, and the assessment value from Orangetown comparatively to the other towns, when I looked at the formula, we are not getting the proper revenue from the county based upon what our assessed value is. So essentially what's happening is some of the other towns are artificially subsidizing, or we're artificially subsidizing Ramapo and some of these other towns because their assessments have been manipulated. And our assessments are not great, but they're a little more accurate than the assessments in some of these other towns. So if someone could do something, maybe Bensick or the assessor can meet with you guys and try to go over the formula, because we're not getting the proper share of revenue from the county. And this comes up in the county budget, and I don't know if it's too late for this year, but you can inquire with, I guess, the county legislators for Orangetown to have them look into this also at the county. Last time I looked at it, if you take the total assessed value of Orangetown versus the different towns, and you take it on a percentage basis of how much we get in comparison to the other towns, you'll see that we're getting shortchanged. That was the last time I did it. It was about 2-3 years ago. At the time, I think, Jerry, you might have said you might look into it, and I think Paul said he was going to look into it. Maybe you guys did. I don't know how far it got, but if you guys can look into it, because we could use it. We're short a police officer. If we can get more funding from the county to pay for that, that'd be a benefit. So that's all I got to say. Thanks.
Thank you. Is anybody else here who would like to speak on the preliminary budget? Okay. Can I get a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Jeff, you want to respond at all to that?
Okay, there's two ways that we get funded from the county, and one is through the sales tax, and that is based on the number of full-time officers we have. The other way we get it is through the county task force, and is dependent upon whether you have a officer or officers there. So depending on those, that is how the monies we get from the county are dictated back to the town, not based on the assessed values. So unless you're talking about something else, Andrew, but that's the two areas that we get paid back from. In terms of the workers' comp, this is a shift. There's no impact, but it's a shift between funds. We obviously incur a lot more expenses in the police fund and workers' comp than we do in the general fund. And so what we're doing with this budget adjustment is shifting that expense from the general fund to the police TOV fund. So, but you see it's a net zero impact, negative $400,000 there. And then the other thing is we're doing a little bit of a shift. So we put $200,000 into the police, and then we increased our risk exposure $200,000 because the workers' comp was a little better, but our risk exposure was a little higher. So that's why we made those budget adjustments. But as you can see, the net impact of all of these changes is a reduction in expenses of $8,000.
Thank you. Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the amendments to the 2025 preliminary budget?
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, can I get a motion to approve the 2025 preliminary budget as amended? Motion?
Motion.
Second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 7, accept the grants. Again, this is for the $135,000, and agree to fund any overage of up to $5,000.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I know Eric, is Eric here? You're excited about your new electric lawnmowers and electric, whatever else you're getting. So when we basically get these grants for doing things in the environment, we have to use it for things that are beneficial to the environment. So that's why we have basically got a lot of electric equipment and an electric vehicle. Number 8, approve the proposal with Fellinger Engineering to review the HVA system in the new town hall. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve the proposal from GC 140, Vanis Construction, again to do waterproofing to the flooring system in the new town hall. Motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, accept the big whopping settlement for the opiate litigation, the amount of $45.92. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think it cost us more to have the attorney write up this resolution than we made.
That includes the attorney's fee. That's the net of the attorney.
Okay. Approve, again, the street naming of a private road. We're naming it Captain Esposito Lane. It's going to be in Pearl River. And again, this is up by the new development going on in Gatto Lane.
I'll make that
can I-
motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 12, accept the donation of memorial bench over by the rail trail and Boulevard Library. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Eric, how much does one of those benches cost? Oh, okay. It's a nice, it's really a nice idea, these, it is, okay. Yeah, it has taken off. Okay, and on that note, can I get accept another memorial bench? Again, this is over in Franklin Street Park.
I'll make a
Motion.
motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 14, approve the installation of stop signs at the locations identified in Orangeburg and Blauvelt for a 6-month trial. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I like the first one, Jim Dean Drive and Route 303. If people don't know to stop there, they're in big trouble, they're in big trouble coming out of the Highway Department. Number 15, accept with regret the retirement of John Wintersteiger after 22 years. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second. Aye, sorry.
Danny beat you to second.
Sorry.
Recognize the appointment of Ryan McCardle to position of Assistant Plan Operator. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recognize the appointment of Brian Edwards to the Laborer position. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recognize the appointment of Hunter Havorka to a laborer in the Sewer Department. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recognize the appointment of Daniel Kelly to the position of laborer in the Sewer Department. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And recognize the appointment of Attican, Unyuruten. I don't want to screw his name up, so motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, the audit for tonight's meeting consists of 4 warrants for $1.8 million. Items of interest, number 2, Axon Enterprise, $25,000 for police equipment. Number 5, Capasso, $102,000 for recycling. Number 11, Fleet Pump and Service, $100,000 for sewer pumps. Number 12, Furniture Pro, $30,000 for guest seating at Town Hall and the boardrooms, zoning boardrooms. Number 17, Reiner Pump Systems, $102,000 for sewer repairs, that's bonded money. Number 20, South Orangetown Central School District, $70,000 for the pool rental. Number 22, Tilcon, $500,000 for highway materials. That's almost entirely CHIPS money, which is reimbursable by the state. Number 23, Troon Golf, $198,000 for the golf course contracts. And number 25, Van Bordo Ford, $39,000 for Demi vehicle, also bonded money. Any questions on the audit?
No questions, anybody? Okay, so can I get a motion to accept the audit?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, executive session. I think we're good, right? Anybody? I know, but do we need executive session? No, I think we covered it, right? Okay. We do have some adjournments, unfortunately. We have Dorothea Aceta. She's the resident Pearl River and mother of Orangetown Town Clerk employee Teresa Aceta Pugh. We have Barry Conroy III, formerly of Spark Hill and son of Isabel Conroy, And Kristen Hayes, a resident of Blauvelt, daughter of Orangetown Police Department Clerk Patricia Quinn and Orangetown Zoning Board of Appeals member Tom Quinn. So can I get a motion to close in memory and an adjournment of these three individuals? Motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's a wrap. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I think I did have other stuff, though.